Alright, so let me introduce a concept called a rate of change, the rate of change. Um, and to do that, I'm gonna have to kind of define some other things here that you may already know about. So I don't want to insult your intelligence, but just bear with me as I go through this vocab, and I think it'll make the concept of the rate of change it'll make more sense here. So just backing way up, a ratio is a comparison between two numbers. So I can have a ratio of 3 to 4. Oops, trying to do the ratio notation here. 3 to 4, which I could write as 3 over 4, like that. Um, a rate is a ratio where the two numbers have different units. So I could compare, um, like something like 5 miles compared with 1 hour. So this is a ratio because it's a comparison between two numbers. But this is a special kind of ratio called a rate because miles are different from hours. So these numbers don't mean the same thing. 5 miles is different from 5 hours or 1 hour or 2 hours. So that's a rate. So when we talk about a rate of change, um, it's a change in one of the quantities relative to the change in the other. So if we were to graph a function like this, say like my x-axis here is hours. Oops. Wow. Let me rewrite that. Just h. Just remember h is hours. And my y-axis I'm going to call miles. Okay. So I'm measuring two different units. I'm measuring hours and miles. So this line here describes a comparison between these two different units. Okay? So we could look at, sorry about that. We could look at how miles are changing relative to how hours are changing. So for example, every time I go up 1 hour like this, I actually go up 2 miles. So this is an increase of 1, but this is an increase of 2. So the comparison of 2, or actually this is 20. Sorry, I forgot my scales and tens here. So when I increase by 1 hour, I'm actually increasing by 20 miles. So my rate of change of this graph would be 20 miles as compared with 1 hour. So my rate of change would be 20 miles per 1 hour, or as we would say in real life, 20 miles per hour. That's showing how my distance is changing in miles, how it's changing much more quickly than my hours are changing. So that's why this graph is steep like that. But you'll get into that. The main thing is how is this variable changing with respect to this variable, and the comparison between the way in which the two are changing is called the rate of change.